But let's
Absolutely.
move on. Let's move on to the next fight on the card. We have the co-main event, which is an interim bantamweight championship fight that is going to pit Peter Yan versus Cory Sandhagen. Peter Yan comes in at 15-2 and is the minus 240 favorite, whereas Cory Sandhagen comes in at 14-3 and is the plus 200 underdog. Yan is a fighter who has very good boxing and likes to go between both stances. He has power in both hands. He likes to attack his opponents with forward pressure, and he is very methodical. He uses the 1-1 and the 1-2 often. He tends to cut off the cage to limit his opponent's movement, and he likes to catch kicks and sweep his opponents off the mat, off their feet. He likes to throw the counter left hook the most. He has a nice lead high kick, switch kick, and low calf kick. He tends to not check leg kicks, and at times he will overextend his punches. He has elite takedown defense. He likes to find offense off of clinch breaks and will look for straight elbows on top guard. He has good speed, cardio, and a granite chin. His range management is great, and he does good with striking defense and takedown defense, and he usually puts out high volume. Whereas Cory Sandhagen has been very active in the past couple of years. He likes to switch his stances often to give you several looks and uses a lot of feints. He always fights on the front foot and throws a jab to keep the opponent on the back foot. He mixes strikes up every fight so he doesn't repeat the same pattern and attacks all levels of your body. He tends to leave his hands low but has great vision. Sandhagen likes to fight on the outside and throw lower calf kicks. He tends to back up in a straight line when being pushed back. He doesn't have good takedown defense on paper, but uses scrambles as a way to avoid them. And his back is usually out in the open when he does that. He has good cardio, vision, and footwork. His chin is decent, and his striking defense is solid for his height. Jim, what do you think of this fight, and who do you have winning?
This is another great matchup. I actually am going to go with the underdog in this one, and I see Sandhagen getting the win
Ooh.
and then going on and getting the rematch with Sterling. I think that Sandhagen is going to be better than his last fight against TJ Dillashaw, and isn't going to let it go to the judges. He thought that he did enough by peppering the leg kicks using the jab, but obviously we saw it go to Dillashaw, right? Both these guys land heavy shots. They both throw heavy and are very accurate. Sandhagen's a little more hittable. Yan has good takedowns. Sandhagen has like suspect takedowns. But I think what you talked about is important to note. Sandhagen doesn't repeat his striking methods. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have a pattern, and he equally distributes to the body, to the head, to the leg. And I think that that's going to come into play because I don't think Jan has seen somebody like Sandhagen, who's kind of like that Swiss Army knife of strikers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We know Aljo was going to go for the takedown. Jose was known for leg kicks and boxing. Sandhagen can do everything. He's got the spinning attacks. He's got the jumping attacks. Plus, he's got the 3-inch reach advantage. And he's a switch stance, which is the same as Jan. But I think that range advantage, the intense, like the anger of the loss to Dillashaw, and the title. I mean, he fought the former champ, right? To I believe a split. So I think that's all going to be the difference maker. So I'm going to go with the shocking upset here, like you did the last fight, and I'm going to go with Sandhagen by 4th round KO. I think he knocks Jan out.
Whew. I think the big thing with this fight is the style makes matchups theory, of course, of every fight.
Yep.
When you look at both of the last fight, Dillashaw was able to get those combinations going, and he was able to kind of get back into the fight. And then with Jan, he fought Sterling, and then the illegal knee. He kind of started out a little late, but then Sterling did a lot of, I would say, output, and then he got tired. Is it going to be the same issue? Because Sterling is another guy that had the height advantage and the reach against Jan, but he put in a lot too early because if the past repeats itself, they tell you Jan is a slow starter, and then he gets going, and then he builds steam throughout the fight, and then he can go all 5 rounds and some. So is Sandhagen going to try something of that, but not too much? But then
I don't think so. I think that Aljamain got too cocky and underestimated Jan.
I
I
think
think he
he put
believed his own hype.
I think he came in with the game plan that he was going to move around a lot, throw, and then he just tired out, and then he kind of got barreled out by the illegal knee because he was tired by that point, and then Jan was good to go because he kind of paced himself. I can see Sandhagen
Yeah.
pacing himself, but I don't see him like he kind of has to switch things up a little bit because he can't let Jan get going because Jan pours out in the hundreds and 200s volume wise. And if you're just going there, like the game plan, I think he's going to go with this jab, leg kick because the Jan's not going to defend the leg kick well. And then because of the reach, you just use that jab because you got the reach. They tell you just keep on doing it because you got that reach, and he has to come inside you to hit you because he's going to be a smaller guy. You always have that jab to throw to, and it's going to be his go-to. And of course the leg kick. But if he's doing that, and then you got Jan rushing in there, hitting him with 2, 3, 4 combinations, because your striking defense isn't that great, because you're always open to shoot. Is he going to get into a situation where he's connecting on punches and his cardio is good, but he's getting out volumed?
Yeah.
And then you get to the point where you got to knock him out. Is he going to be able to? Jan's chin's never been tested. He got hit early against Aldo, but then, of course, Aldo later on in the fight got knocked out because of Jan get going. You allow him to get going. Yeah. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He just keeps going. And he gets that volume up. I want to go Sandhagen. I think he has what it takes, but I just think it comes to a point where unless he does something early, does like one of those crazy knee shots or elbows or something crazy where he like stuns Jan and gets him off his game plan early, I don't see any other way than Petr Yan by unanimous decision just because he racks up the volume.
Okay.
So I'm going to go Petr Yan by unanimous decision victory. I think I'm going to go 4-1 here. I think there's going to be a lot of rounds where it's close, but like I said, the volume's always going to be on Jan's side. But if you like you say you're doing, if you're going Sandhagen, it needs to be an early knockout, or like at least hit him early where he gets him stunned, and then he's off his game plan for the rest of the fight because he's trying to recover. Yeah. But like I said, I'm going with Jan.
Yeah, I think 3 things I would like to see. I'd like to see elbows off of the clinch, break when you break the clinch. I'd like to see spinning back kicks to the body. Sandhagen's good at that, and I'd like to see teep kicks to set the distance and find your range. Cory Sandhagen is also a slow starter at times. We saw that with the fight against TJ. Like, he really had to find his range and find his distance. And Jan is very similar to TJ in the strike first, but has very good wrestling. So I'm not saying that Jan is TJ Jr. or vice versa. I just said, I'm thinking that their styles are kind of the same. I'm still going to ride with Sandhagen. I like him more than Petr Yan. I'll be honest. That swayed my vote a lot.
I could see the body kick being something that might work very well against Petr Yan. That body kick, because any way you can slow down Petr Yan, it's going to help out Sandhagen. So like the jab, the body kick, the high kick, anything that you can use. But I also think one X factor I think in this fight is going to be the grappling of Petr Yan, because I think he can wrestle. He has that background. He has that background training with Habib and everything over there in that gym. So this could be the moment where you see him using that in a fight like this. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens or not. But either way, I got Petr Yan by decision.
Yeah, I love this matchup in general.